Ladies and gents, we're live with the Fallen versus TryHards. Unfortunately, once again, neither team has tagged up in the lobby, and we won't know for sure who is who. But TH, I'm guessing that stands for TryHards, and TF stands for the Fallen. So there, that solves our problem. Radiant side is going to be the Fallen, TryHards going to be on the Dire. And as we get this show on the way, we've already got the draft kicking off. Neither side dipping into reserve time as they'll jump straight into it, banning out the Invoker and the Spectre. Team TryHards will get themselves the Mirana as their first pick, while the Fallen have opted to ban out the Puck and the Death Prophet. This is extremely unconventional, and I'm expecting a bit of a clowny game coming out here. We've got the Ogre as the first pick. Yep, totally not meta stuff coming out from the Fallen, but TryHards so far sticking to what's been working off late with that Mirana first pickup. Ever since the Aghanim Scepter addition to her inventory, you've now got Mirana turning into a great one-position pickup for the most part. We have seen teams like TNC run it in the off lane on occasion as well. In fact, Mineski X, I believe, they're the ones that have really brought Mirana to the forefront, at least in the Southeast Asian scene. But either way, we should see a core Mirana here from TH for the Fallen. Any attempt at predicting their picks would be absolutely futile because they first picked the Ogre Magi, while the Venge, the Bounty, the Earth Spirit are still in the pool. Let's not forget, of course, the Slark is still around and up for grabs as well, which means that if TryHards really wanted to, they could run this as an offlane Mirana as their 3 position and get themselves that 1 position Slark, the ever so coveted 1 position Slark. But I like this, the Fallen. They're going to throw us a bit of a curveball as they'll get themselves the second pick Slaughter, a little more in tune with the current meta game. Not really sure what prompts out a Puck ban unless they know what their opponents have been up to. But things are starting to stabilize now. They've got 2 very tanky heroes as their first 2 pickups. The Ogre Magi, I believe he's the hero with the highest base regeneration in the game at the moment. While Slaughter, just a proven offlaner that's been working for ages now. Despite the guy not getting a model rework, his mug is still ugly as the day he was born into this game. He's been quite the metagame hero. And I feel like Loda's got a big part to play in that. He's the first one that actually, I think he's one of the first ones that brought the Slaughter onto the competitive circuit in the 1 position role. Either way, TryHards, let's see what they've got up their sleeves. I'm assuming that they wanted the Slaughter as their own offlaner, so now they're going to have to change plans. Possibly going to see a Timbersaw coming out here. Again, Timbersaw did get a few buffs to the reactive armor, and having armor up against the Slaughter seems like the way to go. In that department, they could also get themselves that Sven with the early Warcry to help deal with the amp damage. But it's as much of a mystery to you as it is to me as to what the next few picks are going to be. But if they wanted to go greedy here, the Bounty Hunter is still an option. Nope, they'll go with the Bristleback, so take the metagame, throw it straight out the window, pick up a Bristleback as your second pick in conjunction to a Mirana. One way to deal with the Bristleback is to pump physical hits into him on the back of armor reduction, and that's exactly what the Fallen have picked up as their second pick, which leaves me scratching my head at that Bristleback pickup. But either way, we could see this as a 1 position or a 3 position Bristleback. My money's going to be on a 3 position or an offlane Bristleback coming out here. There's plenty of ways to actually lane a Bristleback now that they've gone ahead and picked him up. The Wisp and the Bristle at mid, it's a dual lane that's really worked wonders in the past. In fact, I believe the current Invisible Wing squad, formerly known as Neckbreak, Illunes, and God knows what else, they've gone through multiple iterations with their name. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that I've seen them go up against a Bristleback Wisp at mid back in the Joined League Season 5, and they just got completely crushed to that. And it has left a lasting scar in the mind of Indian Dota 2 fans. That dual lane has been the bane of Indian Dota for a while now. Let's see if TryHards has managed to turn it into their favor, learning from the mistakes of their peers. Medusa is going to be the third ban coming out from the Fallen. You've got a Lion ban coming out from TryHards. Standard stuff. Once again, supports being removed from the equation by TryHards, recognizing that they're going to need a range support on the side of the Fallen to synergize with that Ogre Magi. Getting more stuns, getting some more disables as well would work well versus the Mirana. And hence, the Lion ban does come through. The Ogre, not really the ideal hero to zone out the Bristleback, in the laning phase at least. But it works both ways, because I don't think the Bristle's going to be able to find a kill in the off lane if Ogre plays his cards right and gets himself an early magic stick. Third ban done and over with. We're moving on to the fourths now, as the Dazzle gets removed by the Fallen. Okay, another hero that's kind of fallen off, but a hero that would have synergy with the Bristleback. So they'll remove the Dazzle. Well, TryHards, what do they remove here as their fourth ban? The Fallen, they're still looking for a secondary support, a middle laner, and a one position hero. So we're looking at, yeah, there's going to be a Zeus ban coming out, so that's again a hero that's kind of fallen off the meta. A hero that we don't see getting picked up too often, but a hero that would work well versus the strength core, aka the Bristleback. What does the Fallen go for here? What synergizes with their Templar Assassin and their Ogre Magi? Well, I said the Templar Assassin, but what I meant to say was the Templar basically synergizes well with the Slaughter. You'll have tons of armor reduction, the amp damage synergizing with the Meld. It really is an old school way of dealing with a core Bristleback, but I think if the Fallen starts to focus way too much on this Bristle at this point, they're gonna start crumbling under the pressure that a Mirana will bring to the table if she gets given free reign of the map. One reason that the Bristle really... Oh, it is going to be the Templar Assassin, so they are going straight up for the armor reduction strategy here on the side of the Fallen. Not really... I really wasn't expecting a third pick Templar, because now TryHards can just pick up a Viper without really thinking too much about it. They'll shut down the Templar at mid, and they will also have a mech carrier for their teammates. And at this point, I don't think it's viable to even send the Templar into the safe lane. I'm going to take that back, actually. They haven't picked up their core hero yet. So if they really wanted to swap things around, they could consider running a mid Templar Assassin and then... a one position Templar Assassin and put something else towards the middle lane. But no, we're going to see a Queen of Pain pickup coming out from TryHards. It's not the most dominant middle laner up against the TA, but it does work well. I mean, a Viper basically crushes the Templar Assassin. Queen of Pain is probably the next best choice. Fourth pick on the board. 45 seconds on the clock. The Fallen. They've got plenty of time to think this through. Their draft's not looking too shabby at the moment. Not too much damage over time, unless you're going to count the Shadow Strike, which can be dodged by the Meld or a blink away by the TA. You've also got the Bristleback with the Quill Spray spams, which should help to bring down the TA's refraction in long extended team fights. But with 20 seconds on the clock, the Fallen are now really digging into the reserve time. They'll pick up the Silencer as their fourth pick. So they're going to rely on the disables from the Ogre and the Slaughter. They'll get themselves that Silencer to basically shut down the Queen of Pain whenever they want to make a play on her. But I do like the Silencer. It works well versus the Bristleback as well. The last word up against the Quill Spray spamming Bristleback means that you'll have at least 6 seconds of time where he's running around like a headless chicken if they do proc the last word on him. And then you could always extend that with a global silence on top of it. 40 seconds on the clock. The Dire side thinking this through. TryHards, will they stay true to their name and get themselves something meta here? But they've already picked up 3 possible cores, so they're looking for 2 supports now. Perhaps a Venomancer support? No, they'll go with the Shadow Demon. So again, this is a support that I can get behind. But does this mean we're going to see a support Mirana as well? Because the disruption into the Sacred Arrow combo, we've seen these two work in union on multiple occasions. But it usually implies that Mirana is going to be running the support / roaming role. In which case, are we going to see TryHards pick up another core or a one position hero to fill the void that a support Mirana would leave? Slark is still in the pool. The Draw Ranger does get banned, which means that the Fallen are indeed expecting a support Mirana coming out here from TryHards. And with the final ban on the side of TryHards, it does look like they'll be looking to remove a one position themselves. The Fallen I do like the Slark pickup for them still. If they want to go greedy, they could get the anti-mage for themselves. The Sven is an option as well, but that's going to be a hero that basically laps up all the farm that a Templar Assassin could be looking for come mid-game phase. Last picks on the board. Remember, folks, it is a best of one. One of these two teams will be knocked out of the Starter Cup number 1. The way the Premiership is built is you've got 3 Starter Cups with 1 open qualifier, all culminating into 8 teams, making it to the first LAN, which is called a Challenger. Basically, you've got 2 challengers. The second challenger will be preceded by another 3 starters and another open qualifier. And the top 4 teams from both challengers will make it to the Masters, aka the Grand Finals. The total prize pool across 4 game titles, Dota 2, CSGO, Hearthstone and Just Dance, will be a total of 42 lakhs. So plenty of money up for grabs here if you're a competitive gamer. But for now, the Fallen, they've got one last pick to determine whether or not they'll make it through to the next round and hold on to a shot at getting to that first LAN. 7 seconds on the clock. Gyro is the pick from TryHards as their final pick, while Juggernaut will be picked up here by the Fallen. So we're looking at fairly even matchups for now. Plenty of team fight control coming out from the Dire side, that is TryHards, while on the side of the Radiant, that is the Fallen, they've got good ganking potential. They've got plenty of physical DPS with the Juggernaut, the Templar Assassin and the Slaughter. But we're going to see a 3-man disconnection coming out here from TryHards, as is the case with most Indian Dota 2 games. Internet issues will persist. But hey, they're back already. Just the Gyro to reconnect, and he's back in as well. So for those of you just tuning in, we're watching the ESL India Premiership powered by Nodbin Gaming. It's TryHards on the Dire, Roronoa Zoro on the Queen of Pain, Usopp on the Bristleback. You've got Fire Fist Ace on the Mirana Luffy. Mugiwara Luffy will be playing the Shadow Demon, and Sanji on the Gyrocopter. So Team Straw Hats here, as they've all got Straw Hat Pirate names for themselves. On the other side, Zed will be handling the Slaughter for Team Fallen. Juggernaut's going to be handled by PD_Rocks. Templar Assassin played by DJ Devil. Silencer's going to be handled by Evil Rat. And last but not least, it's Never Fear on the Ogre Magi. And for those of you wondering who I am, I'm CloudX. And I will be solo casting once again. As we get the show on the way, you've got 4 heroes moving towards that bottom river. All 5, in fact, moving towards the bottom river from Team TryHards. Ideally, when you're on the Dire side, you want to contest the top rune so that your carry can make it back to the safe lane without actually missing too many creeps. For now, Sanji is going to move himself back up to this top lane, and really contesting the rune without the Gyro's rocket barrage does seem like it could be a fatal mistake here for Team TryHards. The Fallen, they're going to get this rune quite comfortably by the looks of it. Mugiwara Luffy's coming in. They can get that arrow set up though with the Shadow Demon Disruption. And they both see each other now. Juggernaut walks in. Blade Furies as well preemptively. Gets the rune and backs away. Meanwhile, top rune will be secured by Zed as well. So both bounty runes secured by the Radiant side, giving them about a 200 gold lead. Or a 300 gold lead from the get-go. Unfortunately though, for the Fallen, the Templar couldn't get that rune for herself. She's actually been pulled 3 tangos as opposed to the standard 2. She didn't get that point in the meld. She puts it into refraction now, and that'll soak up some of those hits, or rather some of those sticks from the Shadow Strike from Roronoa Zoro. Well, bottom lane, it's your standard tri lane with the Ogre, Silencer and the Juggernaut. They've got a bit of lockdown, some slows as well, and the damage output from the Blade Fury should be able to do the trick. Bristleback, he's got himself that magic stick already picked up and has begun spamming out those quill sprays, but he's got no mana regen apart from 1 mango, which will give him that burst of 150 mana when he does choose to use it. Meanwhile, up at top, Slaughter, how's he looking? He's got only 1 CS in the bag for now, but he's up to level 2. It looks like the TryHard team are not doing too much to zone him out at this point, but they have managed to deward a possible observer placed down on the side with that sentry placed down. I'm looking at just one Radiant Observer ward placed down so far, one at the middle lane to give the Templar Assassin a bit of an edge here over the Queen of Pain. It does seem like that second Observer ward was dewarded up top. Back at bottom, Usopp. He's at 3 CS himself and he will be inching closer and closer towards level 2 now. There should not be a kill taking place here on this bottom lane. I feel like Bristleback is tanky enough, especially with the magic stick already picked up, and he's got the money to buy boots if he wants to. So there really shouldn't be a kill opportunity on this Bristle if he plays his cards right. He should also be looking to stack these Ancients when the creep equilibrium is towards the Radiant Tier 1 tower, but it looks like they actually single pulled here, which is why you're going to see another massive creep wave building up and pushing in towards the Dire Tier 1 tower. This will allow the Bristleback to get some bonus EXP, and I've got to say already the off lane seems to be looking good for TryHards. They're trying the best to zone out this Bristle though, but it is going to be a futile attempt as he just turns around and shows them his butt. Back at mid, Templar, how's she looking in terms of CS? 6 and 1 up against the 5 and 4 denies on Zoro's Queen of Pain, but Templar's still getting a decent bit of CS in this lane. Not the way that Zoro might have had this planned. At bottom lane, they did try to make a play on Usopp. He's popped his mango already. In fact, it was the Shadow Demon that fed him a mango. Usopp's in trouble here. He's taken quite the beating. The last word gets thrown on him as well. He'll get defensively disrupted by Mugiwara Luffy, but yeah, that'll help him dodge the damage from that last word, and he will survive for now. At top, Slaughter, similar situation for him. The creep equilibrium does seem to be going in his favor, as he's getting that bonus bit of CS and EXP under his own tier 1 tower. The Gyro's farming a little more efficiently than the Juggernaut for now, just 1 CS more with 1 additional deny. Sanji gets that Rocket Barrage off preemptively, recognizing that the Slaughter was going to crush him. I think the crucial window of opportunity here for the Radiant side is when they get the Blink Dagger on the Slaughter. That should be their item of choice and their item of priority really for Zed. A scan was already used by the Radiant side, looking at anyone possibly farming up this neutral camp here, but there are stacks being prepped for later consumption by the Gyrocopter, I would assume. Mirana is playing that support role, so we're not going to be looking at an early Aghanim Scepter coming out for her, but at mid, there's a possible initiation. The Refraction is available. There's a Meld thrown down as well, but there is a sentry overlooking that Templar, but they won't be able to bring her down, especially with the Soul Catcher not connecting on the TA but on this creep instead. Any chance of a kill on DJ Devil was thwarted right there, and now he's even going to be able to deward the sentry. At bottom, Bristle is bearing his fangs at his opponents. He's up to level 4 now. While at top, Zed's about to go down. The Rocket Barrage is going to come back online, but the Sprint along with that Fairy Fire and the Boots of Speed for the movement speed helped him to scurry on under his own tier 1 tower, keeping him alive for now. Back at bottom, PD Rocks and Evil Rat. They're making a play here on Usopp. He's on his own for now, but he does have the wand. And the Fallen will not dive the tier 1 just yet. We're 5 minutes in. Still no first blood spilled, and we're yet to see a tier 1 tower getting taken down. No towers have taken any significant damage just yet, so pretty much status quo here for both teams. At PD Rocks, he's got himself the phase boots online now, so Compendium Challenge number 1 has been completed as he gets a sub 7 minute phase boots online. He's at 27 CS and well, he isn't leading the net worth charge. Gyro's got that one locked down as he's been farming a bit more efficiently at top. Well, they're pretty much going neck and neck. Zoro, he's up to level 6 now, so does he look to make a play? He's actually blinked into the river. He has the double damage rune already expended, but never fear, He's really tanky, but he's gonna get locked out here as Mugiwara Luffy and Usopp will be coming in as well. This should be a dead Ogre Magi. One more Blinks available in 2 seconds time, but it's not even gonna be necessary. That's 3 points in the Shadow Strike for this Queen of Pain. Not a very conventional build, but one that seems to be working, as it will secure first blood for the Quap. So against all odds, it's actually the dire side taking first blood in this bottom river here. A stray Ogre Magi gets caught with his pants down and Queen of Pain punishes him for it. Fortunate for her that she found the double damage rune in the river as well. Any other rune and he might have survived. Back at bottom, the last word once again silencing up Usopp, preventing him from giving chase onto the Juggernaut, who's got 10 stick charges anyway. He'll use them and might be prompted to use his salve as well. Zed, how's he looking in the farm department? He's got just 12 CS for now, but he's almost at level 6, and once the amp damages are online, I do expect the Templar to possibly make a rotation. Has the Templar been stacking Ancients? No, she hasn't, so not the most efficient farm pattern being set up by her. DJ Devil, he's gonna start falling behind if he's not gonna prep himself for that pullback come mid-game phase, because Quap's already starting to pull ahead now. She's got that first blood money, putting her on top of the net worth chart with 2800 gold in the bank. She's picked up the power treads as her first item. PD Rocks continues to slash away on those creeps. It's just really passive play coming out from both sides, and if both teams continue to farm like this, it's really hard to tell who's going to come out ahead. But the fact that there's a lot more physical DPS and the amp damage on the side of the Fallen, I think I'm going to give them a little bit of an upper hand. But come ultra late game phase, you've got Gyro, who's potentially one of the best carries in the game with the flak cannon, allowing him to rip straight through 5 enemy heroes at a time. But neither side willing to get too aggressive just yet. Maybe once they get the Omni Slash for this Juggernaut, they'll consider diving this tier 1 tower. It's kind of odd that we're not seeing a rotation here from the Silencer and the Ogre. In an ideal situation, your support should not be at the same level as your core. As we can see that TryHards seem to be doing it just right. They've got Sanji up to level 7 and he's getting the benefits of this solo lane up top. While his supports continue to rotate around, there's an arrow that's going to fly and barely whiz past Zed's ear. Well, that bottom lane, they do have magic sticks which will really work wonders versus both the Shadow Demon as well as the Bristleback, which means that a kill possibility is very low on the side of TryHards. Gyro is going to accelerate his farm rate with this call down getting thrown down at this neutral camp that was stacked for him. The flak cannons have been expended as well, and with that his CS and net worth takes the lead. Mirana's going to hang around here to lap up the EXP. Well deserved indeed. She's the one that's been stacking it for him. DJ Devil, he did use the Meld to dodge a Shadow Strike there by the looks of it, so efficiency being displayed by the Templar Assassin as well. She's starting to catch up. 30 CS on her. No stacked Ancients just yet though. And I think she's missed the timing window where she'd have got that Desolator if she had the Ancients stacked already. Sanji, he's doing the right thing here. He's building drums first for that added bit of HP, knowing that his armor will not be a factor for him to rely on in the face of that amp damage. He's just going to stock up on raw HP for now and mobility with the phase and the drums. Slaughter, 1600 gold online for him. He needs to get picked off here. If he doesn't, it's going to be a fairly quick blink dagger coming out for him, which is when Zed will start getting extremely aggressive with his rotations. DJ Devil, 780 gold in the bank for him. Still no sign of a blink dagger for him though. He's really playing it slow and steady for now. His farm rate could have been a lot more efficient, I'd say. But Zoro, he doesn't seem to be doing too well either. Just 37 CS, 10 minutes in on a middle laner when the ideal situation would be at least 60 CS. I think they're both pretty much spooked by each other. There's a TP coming bottom. Zoro's gonna TP in. expecting aggression being displayed here by PD Rocks. He actually walked ahead, threatening for an Omni Slash. That was enough to force out the TP rotation from him, but hey, fortunately for Queen of Pain, she's got a haste rune on her and she'll make her way back towards the mid. But DJ Devil's here. He still doesn't have any way of closing the gap. No Blink Dagger available. And jumping in on this Bristleback could prove to be a very costly mistake, as Mirana's even going to TP in now. They've got no vision of this Mirana coming in, which means... Okay, now they're going to get vision. That Siege Creep will be giving away her position, which means that we're probably not going to see the Fallen getting clipped by an arrow. This is just some ridiculous Dota being displayed. 11 minutes in, or almost 12 minutes now, and there's just one kill on the board. Both sides just contented farming to glory's end, really. Usopp, he's going to get his Vanguard online now. And once he has it, bringing him down is going to be a Herculean task indeed. Zoro, meanwhile, he's building towards the Orchid, but it's not going to be the best timing on it. While Gyro, he's still proven to be the efficient farmer that he is, farming stack camps once again, as he will continue to stay ahead of the curve here in terms of net worth. Juggernaut's awfully close though. In fact, they might just get a kill. Nope, no Omni Slash will be used again. Kind of hard to bring down a Vanguard Bristleback that turns around at you. Dyer's placed down an Observer Ward up top here as well, so Zed could be picked off if he's not careful, but he's already got the money for that Blink Dagger. And he's not going to risk it. He'll just sprint all the way back to base. No, he's just going to sprint a little behind his tier 1 tower. He's confused. Templar, she's used this time at middle lane while the Quap rotated off to keep farming. Is at 44 CS, still just 4 CS or 2 CS behind that Queen of Pain. But there's the big pickup. Zed's got his Blink Dagger. They're pinging out bottom lane as well. We should see the TP from the Slaughter coming out right about now. And his opponents have not pinged this out, which means that they could make a play. They're going to go in on the Bristle. They'll stun him up. Throw down the blast as well. But look at the damage coming out from that Bristle Quill Spray. There's the Global Silence even thrown down. Usopp, he's just manned up and stood his ground. Mugiwara Luffy, he's about to go down. But PD Rocks will die first. Then the Sonic Wave comes through. Is Juggernaut going down in exchange for the Bristleback? The arrow almost bringing down the Ogre, but Queen will clean up on him just as well, making it a 2-for-2 trade. The Juggernaut and the Ogre traded off for the Bristleback and the Shadow Demon. But again, I think the Dyer does come out ahead in that fight, primarily because the Gyro continues to farm on this top lane uncontested, extending his net worth lead. I'd assume a BKB will be his item of choice. As I mentioned earlier, he's going to need that raw HP along with the magic immunity to break free from that global silence this time around. Never fear. Along with Evil Rat, doing what they can to zone out this Mirana, but she's got the Arcane Boots online and she's actually purchased up a headrest recipe, so she's going to be rushing the mech for her teammates. No Might is going to be picked up, no transition into a core just yet. Well, PD Rocks, after that one death, he's a little spooked as he'll move himself up top instead. Slaughter not putting that Blink Dagger to the best use the last time around. Let's see if they can change that with a possible kill on Sanji's free farming Gyrocopter. His head is going to be worth a fair amount of money if they can bring him down here. With the Templar waiting in the wings, she's almost at her own Blink Dagger. But they really don't want to be diving under that tier 1 tower. If the Gyro does survive through the first stun from the Crush, he could drop a call down with the Rocket Barrage on their heads. And with the TP rotations coming in from the rest of his teammates, they could turn this one around. In fact, the TPs are already coming. 5-fist Ace. He's going to TP himself up to the tier 1. He's looking for the line on the arrow. He'll fire it. It'll fly. It'll connect. PD Rocks. He's going to get jumped upon. Slaughter misses the Crush. The call down will catch all 3. Moonlight Shadow gets expended as well. But Sanji's taken a beating with the meld and the amp damage. But his mobility allows him to walk it off. Now DJ Devil gets hit with the Demonic Purge. He's been slowed down. The homing missile's going to track him down a bit as well. Leap away from the Mirana. She stays alive. Big Crush comes out from Zed. They'll make quick work of the Gyrocopter. But DJ Devil, he's about to lose his own life. He's got the Refraction to help him survive through this a little longer. But he stops in the fray as well. They'll get a double kill for the Juggernaut, who cleans up on the Shadow Demon behind. Bristle's not done just yet. He wants some more. Evil Rat tries to body block the Bristle. His efforts are in vain though, as Usopp continues the chase. DJ Devil, he's got the Refraction. Oh, he doesn't use it. He might have just survived there, but Usopp gets the kill, and he's looking for more now. Quap, she misses on the screen behind. Double kill for Usopp on the front lines, bringing down the silencer. There's the Blade Fury used by PD Rocks. Quap, she's actually blinked in forward. I think Zed disconnected there. He'll go down. The Omni Slash gets used by PD Rocks. Doesn't do anything really. making it a 3-for-1 trade in favor of TryHards. And again, the dire side comes out ahead in a very clowny and a very haphazard engagement, I have to say. They do manage to come out ahead. Did Slaughter actually DC there? Because it seemed like he just stopped on the high ground up here. Maybe just waiting for that crush. And yeah, I guess it was a bit of a misplay coming out from him. But there's the fight recap. It was actually a 3-for-2 trade because both the Gyro as well as the Shadow Demon went down there. But Gyro resumes to do what he does best, which is farm. He's actually going for the helm this game. So he's gonna buckle down for the long haul here, stacking ancients and farming efficiently. But once the Juggernaut gets his Battle Fury, there is an opportunity for PT Rocks to steal that ancient farm themselves. Zoro, being the good teammate that he is, attempts a stack on those ancients but will be unsuccessful as he missed the timing window. Back at mid, Slaughter. He does throw down that sprint, but he's not going to get in range that easily. There's actually a dire ward overlooking the river up here. It does provide a bit of vision onto the high ground at mid, which means that the Slaughter should have been scouted out by TryHards. Yeah, they've definitely scouted him out. They're pinging him as well. Evil Rat, he's got himself the infused raindrops this game, so they're just trying to keep their supports alive till they can get their big spells off. Global Silence is online now if they want to try and fight. But I still feel like they're not making good use of that early Blink Dagger on this Slaughter. I mean, when you get a free farm, when you get a free lane like this, you're kind of expected to make the plays for your teammates. There's a lot of pressure riding on your shoulders, and if you can't live up to the responsibility, you have effectively let your team down as an offlaner. But let's see if you can get some big crushes off now in the next few fights. As TryHards, they're the ones that want to fight. They're going to try and wrap around here under cover of a smoke. Evil Rat is going to be the first one to get caught out. Ambitious blinking from the co-op there. They'll throw down the Global Silence, but Evil Rat's probably going to be left for dead here. Big crush this time coming out from the Slaughter. Catches out too, but the Sonic Wave will clip the Silencer eventually, bringing him down. Arrow will fly but will not connect as the homing missile provides vision under enemy lines. Call down will clip as well. They're going to get the Rocket Barrage. That should be a dead Slaughter before he can react. Well, never fear. Will TP out to safety. And suddenly, what looked like a bit of an overcommittal from the dire side ends up being a worthy one as they bring down the Slaughter core as well as the support Silencer. And they'll now be able to transition this into a tier 1 tower. Not all is lost though, I have to admit, because at mid DJ Devil continues to bring down his own tier 1 tower, while at top you've got the Juggernaut farming and pushing as well. Big disconnection, however, coming out from the TryHard side. 1v5 says Mirana and flexes some muscles. I'm guessing they're playing from a cafe, or they're on the same or similar internet connection. Hopefully they'll be back soon though. But this gives us some time to evaluate where this game is headed for now. Let's have a look at that graph to give us a better indicator of what things are like. It's a 3,000 net worth lead in favor of the Dire, aka TryHards. They've got a 5,000 EXP lead as well, but that lead is slowly gonna start dwindling because the Templar, she's managed to get that tier 1 by herself, and Juggernaut's been free farming a while up top, and he'll be able to bring down the tier 1 or at least force out a couple of rotations towards this top side, which should allow the cores on the side of the Fallen to rotate back towards bottom. They're reconnecting now. Looks like their PC is restarted. So we should be getting this game back underway in just a bit. But this is Indian Dota, ladies and gentlemen, and I really can't blame TryHards for this. I mean, internet issues just plague every single one of us, and if you're an online gamer on in the country of India, you know that the pain that these guys are experiencing right now. I'm sure they cleared their schedule, said, guys, we have an ESL India match tonight. Let's please make sure that everyone can make it. Finish your dinner, finish your studies, whatever you got to do. Make sure your parents won't bother you, and sit down for at least an hour, hour and a half, so that we can get this victory under our belt. They've started taking the lead in the early game phase, but this is when their internet gives them dhoka or cheats on them. TryHards. Let's see if they can continue extending their lead here. The gyro, I do feel like he's going to need that BKB, but does he go for the Manta style instead? Because it does serve a similar purpose. With a bit of agility from the Yasha and the ultimate orb, that's going to give him a bit more armor, given that he is an agility hero. But do you go for the armor over and above magic immunity? No, I think the BKB is definitely the better choice. There we go, India smiley face. He knows what's up. But hey, looking over at Twitch chat, thank you guys for tuning in. We've got a small, a humble audience. It's nice to have a few of you on the stream here, watching these two teams duke it out. They may not be the best teams in Indian Dota right now, by a long shot actually, but they're trying, and I think that's what's that really deserves applaud here. Some familiar faces on stream as well. Welcome, Divides by Zero, Sennheiser Khan, Don't Overload, Shubit322. Does Speedy Rocks get this tower though? I highly doubt it. This is assuming that TryHards reconnects. Quote unquote, they said they've got a PC restart. And the admin says, sure, for PC restart, very legit indeed. No signs of reconnections just yet, but hopefully they'll be back soon. So how does TF, the Fallen, turn this one around? I mean, all roads lead right back to this dead slaughter right now. He needs to be the one initiating for his teammates, catching his opponents off guard, and then they follow that 2 or 3 man crush up with a global silence and everything else that their physical DPS department can dish out. He really needs to be making the plays for his teammates, but right now he seems to be crumbling. He did get a decent crush in that last fight, but it was after his teammates got caught out under cover of a smoke rotation from TH. A good move from TH indeed there, as they did manage to transition that into an objective, aka this bottom tier 1 tower. A very crucial objective as well. This is probably the most, or rather the second most important outer tower for the Radiant side, because when you lose your tier 1 at bottom, it basically means that TH can now move into the jungle and find pickoffs, especially when heroes are farming deep camps like this one, somewhere out here, or even the small camp here. Ideally, if there's a possible gank attempt here, you'd see a TP coming in from your supports back onto this tower, and then you'd immediately be in position to make a counterplay. But with that tower now down, TH can start gaining some more map control towards the bottom half of the map. It also means that there's one less tower for the Fallen to TP into when Roshan will be contested. Granted, it doesn't look like a very... well, TH doesn't look like they've got a lineup that's built to take down Roshan too easily, but given enough time, they could definitely bring him down. With the Bristleback tanking up on the front line. Speaking of which, he's actually picked up a full Crimson Guard already, which means a lot of that physical DPS coming out from the Fallen will now be negated to a certain extent. Yeah, we're still looking for 2 more people. Looks like the Fallen are playing from a cafe, and it's their cafe's closing time. I would assume that there's a certain duration that we gotta wait before a resume is forced out by the admins. But that would be a very, very sad way to conclude this game. But hey, the rules are meant to be followed, and if they do need to be enforced, I trust that the admins will take the right decision. One more to go. Queen of Pain's back in, just the Shadow Demon pending. As the reset button gets hit on this game, we should be looking at TryHards continuing to push out this bottom lane a bit more while... No, I'm gonna scratch that. I think the smart thing to do would be to TP a couple of heroes up top, defend their tier 1 tower, zone out that Juggernaut, and farm up the incoming wave at middle lane. There we go. All 5 back in. The resume should be coming out shortly. Just waiting for the dire side to confirm this. And here we go. Mugiwara Luffy apologizes for that disruption. We feel your pain, buddy. Don't worry about it. As long as everyone's back in and we have a smooth sailing game going forward. Up top, as predicted, we're going to see TPs coming out. Juggernaut will get zoned out with Usopp leading the charge. He's up to level 11 now. 2 points in the war path have been picked up. In fact, we've seen 4 heroes now rotating up top. And maybe it's time for TryHards to start taking towers of their own. The tier 1 is awfully low, and it could be a point of contention for them right now. It's the most insignificant tower of this game, but it's still a source of money for the dire side if they can bring it down. There's the deny Zed. He's in position to try and get a multiple hero crush. In fact, the entirety of the Fallen are coming in here. Bristleback, he's right on the front lines. A preemptive healing ward even thrown down by PD Rocks. That healing ward does not body block. What are you trying there, my friend? There'll be a disruption coming out. Templar blinks forward. Mugiwara Luffy taking a couple of hits, but the demonic purge will stunt her mobility. She can't blink anymore. Usopp's gonna run straight on out of there, along with a healing ward chasing him down. What the holy hell was that? No one on the side of the Dire dies. They bring the tier 1 tower down at top lane end. All the while, the Gyro continues to farm up some stacked Ancients, making it another minor victory for the Dire. That could change now though, as 5 Fist Ace, he's been hit with the Amp and the Meld shots in the Slithering Crush. He'll be going down. Will the chase continue though? They'll slow down Usopp. He's now here by himself and no Crimson Guard available for another 19 seconds. He's trying to move towards his tier 1 tower. Crush comes in again, and the physical DPS is enough to bring him down this time around. Juggernaut's gonna get that kill, making it a clean 2-0 execution from the Fallen. So the comeback does seem like it might be real, as the scoreline now sitting at 6-8 in favor of the TryHards on the Dire side. The graphs, however, not really moving too much. That Gyro doing his bit to keep them in the money as far as net worth goes. Sanji, he's got the Yasha online, so more mobility seems to be the name of his game. Does he make a full Sanjin Yasha, or does he go for the Mantis style this game, is the question on my mind here. But yeah, it's a smart move. Oh, the arrow just barely connecting. That could have been a source of initiation for TryHards. They're already under cover of a smoke, and that missed arrow seems to be enough to send the Fallen packing as they'll back away. They've done their bit. They forced out a couple of rotations, whether or not they know it. Well, PD Rocks will use the space created by his teammates to bring down this tier 1 at bottom. Juggernaut's going to come in again. The preemptive healing ward gets dropped. It'll get taken down though. Juggernaut will Blade Fury, and he'll hit the tower anyway. Usopp was about to be chased down. A Moonlight Shadow gets thrown down by the Mirana as well. So that's on cooldown for a good 130 seconds. Minor victories again for the Radiant side. In fact, Juggernaut's actually taken the lead in terms of net worth, despite the Gyro pretty much free farming for the most part this game. Top lane, Slaughter in position to jump in if he chooses to, but there is a Dire Observer ward placed in the lane, which should see him coming in. He's trying anyway. He'll jump forward. This time it's a big crush coming out. They're focusing Sanji. Global Silence comes out, so no defensive disruption is going to come through just now. Sanji getting run down by the Blade Fury, but he'll move to the left. It's not enough. He'll get sliced to bits by the Templar side blades. 5 Fist Ace goes down next. Double kill for the TA. Sonic Wave thrown down by Roronoa Zoro. He's been silenced up. Meld hit. Not available, but not even needed. It's a triple kill for the Templar, and it's going to be a 5-man team wipe if Sop goes down as well. He's been slowed down. The Omni Slash triggered, and it will be enough bring him down. 5-0. What the hell just happened here? The Fallen suddenly pulling out the steroids from their back pockets, making the plays. But that's exactly what they should have been doing. The Slaughter again delivering for his team this time, with a big crush coming out on the Gyro and the Shadow Demon, the two ideal targets for him to aim, and he does manage to find him, and then was followed up by a big Global Silence from Evil Rat as well, setting up a perfect team fight for them. That tier 1 tower is ancient history now, and this tier 2 tower could be following it to the grave. Well, Sanji He'll respawn in the base. Does he dare to TP back into the lane? The arrow, once again, not finding the mark. Well, Templa's got a full Desolator picked up. She blinks forward very aggressively. Slaughter blinking forward as well, looking for the crush. The demonic purge now slowing him down. Sanji comes in. He's got the rocket barrage available if he wants to use it, but he gets stun locked twice. And that'll end the initiation from him. Slaughter, he's got a blink. He's going to blink away a little further, so the chase is not going to be possible. But TryHards, they lose their second tower on this top lane as well, and they won't find any sort of return kills either. And all of a sudden, the cores on the side of the Fallen are in the lead, with the Juggernaut picking up a full Sanjin Yasha almost. While Templar Assassin has another 800 gold in the bank, in addition to a Desolator and a Blink Dagger. 4,000 net worth in the bank now for them, with 2,500 EXP. The graphs, they've moved all the way back upwards again. Let's have a look at middle lane again. The Fallen is sticking around, defending their towers with everything they've got. Usopp, he's got the Crimson Guard and he's building towards the Blade Mail. It has been buffed off late. Usopp is now going to continue farming whatever stacks the Gyro has left for him. And that should get him closer to his Blade Mail. While Gyro, he's up at top with 1,300 gold in the bank. He's not opted to pick up any other items, so we should be looking at the Sanjin Yasha pickup, unless he wants to save up for the Ultimate Orb and get a Manta style anyway. I do feel like the Manta is a better choice than the SNY this game for him. The ability to shrug off that silence from the Global Silence or the Last Word would come in handy. The Fallen, we spoke about how they'll need to be careful about losing Roshan. They've got a lineup that'll make Roshan cry when they go to work on him. With the armor reduction from the Slaughter and the TA, and the healing ward to keep them sustaining through the pit, they should be able to bring down Roshan quickly. They'll smoke under possibly the most obvious ward spot. There's a dire observer ward that scouted that out. There's no reason to actually walk up here and pop a smoke. And if TH gets caught out by this, they really have no one but themselves to blame. Sanji knows what's up. He'll TP back instead. And it looks like they're going to pop a smoke of their own. So they're kind of expecting Roshan to be on the cards here. But they'll find out that it isn't a rush attempt, which means that they're on the other side of the map now. No scans being used by either side. Okay, looks like I was mistaken. A scan does get used, but why on earth would anyone be hiding up here? Beats me. That was a dire scan. No, that was actually a Radiant scan. So they were looking for someone who possibly went into hiding. So the Dire, they'll use this opportunity to move into the pit. They've gone in undetected as well. There's no observer wards to scout this out, and they should be able to bring down Roshan. But it looks like the Fallen Spidey senses could be tingling. They're making a beeline towards that middle lane. They're keeping in at the tier 1 tower as well, which means that they should know that Roshan is happening. The scan's going to scout out rotations through this area here, so they now know that Roshan will be contested. Rosh is about to drop though. TryHards doing everything they can. They'll bring him down. They'll secure the Aegis. Now the question is, did they stick around to fight and find out what happens next? PD rocks. He's trying to run forward. They've used a defensive Crimson Guard. Again, the healing wall thrown down preemptively. The slow coming out from the TA trap. As the Fallen realizes that this is not the place or the time for them to fight, they'll back away. Juggernaut just being a complete boss, still not afraid of the fact that Roshan was taken under their noses right now. He'll farm up the enemy ancient camp and move back to mid. He's got the full Sanjin Yasha picked up, but that's a Bristleback with a Blade Mail now and a Gyrocopter with an Aegis. He's got 2,200 gold in the bank and has still chosen not to spend his money. Let's have a quick item check on the side of the Templar Assassin. She's almost picked up the Hurricane Pike here. Huh. Not every day you get to see a TA picking up a Dragon Lance into a Hurricane Pike over and above a BKB. But hey, it could work. Zoro. He's going for the BKB on his Queen of Pain. I think that's definitely the item that he should be looking for. Well, Mirana, mechs online for her. Ogre's picked up the mech as well. 28-minute mechs. Not the most ideal timing for a mech, but it is coming out on the support heroes as opposed to your cores. So something's better than nothing for them. Zed, he's trying to get his 4-star online. In fact, he has the money for it now. Well, Juggernaut's going to opt to pick up a diffusal blade. So he's really squishy at this point. Maybe not that squishy. He's got 1500 HP and about 11 armor more once the diffusal blade gets on his person. But he has prepped himself to take down possible Ghost Scepter pickups come middle-late game phase. Sanji, looks like he's finally spent that money, so it will be the Manta style. So now he's got a tool to deal with the global silence and the illusions to cause a little bit of chaos on the battlefield. The Fallen. Let's have a look at how far ahead they are right now. 4,000 net worth and 2,500 EXP. But 29 minutes in, that's really not too much of a lead. One lost team fight could sway the graphs back in their enemy's favor. I do feel like Fallen are doing the right thing right now. They're avoiding fights till the Aegis times out. It seems like the safe thing to do, but at the same time, I think TryHards are going to be okay with dodging fights as well. They got spooked after getting team wiped in the last team fight, and they've got that those couple of minutes to actually farm up. Now, at the tail end of that Aegis expiry, they're going to pop a smoke for themselves and try and find a pick off. They're also going to scout out this double damage rune in the river, which should make their fight a bit more successful if they can actually run into enemy heroes. Quap's Illusion's actually going to lead the way here. Ogre, is he going to get caught out? No, he's going to dodge that smoke. But the Juggernaut, he needs to be stun locked if they want to bring him down. But they really have no tools to lock him down besides the arrow. They can drop the Demonic Purge on him though while he uses the Blade Fury. But his Spidey senses, they've tingled enough to let him know that he should be hiding. And he just barely dodges the smoke gank, unaware. And now once the smoke time's out, this Radiant Observer ward, it's in the right place at the right time, as it will reveal the entirety of TryHards. We'll find the D ward at the very least, so not a total loss on the back of that smoke. But with positions being revealed, the Juggernaut will do his thing at the bottom lane, while Evil Rat, he could be run down here. That's a Shadow Demon trying to solo kill this Silencer. That's not happening. A bit of miscommunication coming out, but space was created for the Juggernaut to bring down another tier 1 tower. Zoro will TP in, but it's just a bit too late. There's nothing he can do. Meanwhile, DJ Devil, he's got the Dragon Lance finished up. He's actually got the full Hurricane Pike now flying out to him. So there goes the Queen of Pain and the Mirana's mobility, if he can use the Pike on them. Well, never fear. They'll de-ward a sentry with a sentry. Aegis gets reclaimed, and there's another 3 minutes till Roshan respawns. Quap's got the BKB. It's going to help her deal with the global silence, but it really won't be an answer to the amp damage and meld hits from the TA. But now, knowing that the Aegis is down, the Fallen should consider pressing their advantage. They're really far ahead at this point. PD Rocks, he's looking for another item by the looks of it. Wonder what it's going to be. Possibly a Skadi pickup? He's at the shop. He's contemplating what to get. Nope, no decisions are being taken today. Is he just gonna wait to be able to buy out an Eagle Song? I think that's the plan here. Maybe he's just gonna go for a straight up Butterfly. No, he's going for the Basher, so it's gonna be an Abyssal Blade coming out for this man. So there's the lockdown that they'll need up against the Queen of Pain again. They've also got mobility on the Juggernaut already with that Sanjin Yasha and those phase boots. TryHards. holding the line at that middle lane, still not able to make anything happen. Fire Fist Ace, he's probably looking for an arrow to start this fight from the sidelines, but I do believe he's visible. No, he's just barely out of range of this observer ward. Middle lane, they've jumped in. There's a defensive disruption or an offensive one coming out. PD Rocks has been stunned up. There's the global silence even dropped. They'll blow up the Juggernaut before he can react. The BKBs have been deployed as well. Now DJ Devil, he's going to get... he's going to Hurricane Pike himself a little further away, but it's not doing too much. He gets the refraction of Big Crush, catches 4 from Zed. Will it be enough to keep DJ Devil alive? The answer is no, as Mirana will finish the job on him. Now Evil Rat's going to go down as well, and suddenly the Fallen have lived up to their name, as they've thrown away their advantage. A 3-for-0 wipe there. The 2 heavy cores on the side of the Fallen going down, and TryHards will secure an objective in the form of this tier 2 tower. The Mantis Style and the BKB really paying off there for the Gyro and the Queen of Pain. Usopp still on the front lines. His Crimson Guards coming back online. In fact, they've got 38 seconds without the Templar Assassin and no fortification available. This could be a lane of Raxes here for TryHards. Zed, he'll blink in, he'll get a 3-man crush off, but that's all it's really going to be. It's going to slow things down for a while, but the tier 3 tower looks like it's about to drop, with Usopp standing on the front lines, tanking up those tower hits. They're really starting to stack up with the amp damage as well. They'll bring the tower down. Do they want to take the Raxes? No, they're going to back away, playing it safe, knowing that the Juggernaut has respawned and he's got the Omni Slash at the ready. Not entirely sure what happened there. I think it was all on the back of that disruption into the arrow setup that stun locked the Juggernaut for a good 5 seconds. That allowed them to blow him up before he could really respond. The global silence not doing too much to stop them from jumping him. Kind of surprised that the Slaughter wasn't jumping in there, but maybe the Slaughter was already on the front lines. Could have missed that there. But Zed, he's building towards a BKB now as he's picked up that Ogre Club. Evil Rat, he's actually rushing the Aghanim Scepter on the Silencer. No, I can't get behind this. I can't agree with this at all. Maybe even a Refresher Orb Rush would have been better compared to this, but having things like the Glimmer Cape, or maybe even a Force Staff to keep your allies alive and running around, would have been perfect. Heck, even a Lotus Orb to shrug off, or rather to dispel the stun duration from that arrow, wouldn't be a bad choice. Let's have a look at the graph after that last fight. It is indeed a roller coaster ride, as we're back into dire territory now, but just ever so slightly. Roshan being attempted here, and should be a successful attempt coming out from the Fallen this time around. So while they may have gone down the last time around, they'll find themselves in Aegis for the next fight. And it'll be claimed by the Juggernaut. Mirana has popped the Moonlight Shadow, which means that they might want to commit here. The arrow will fly. This is a choke point of sorts, and oh, it's gonna clip on the Juggernaut. The perfect target yet again. They should be able to bring down the Aegis for free here. Global Silence is available. It gets thrown out. Zed missing on the crush again. Big Sonic Wave connects onto everyone. Usopp just standing on the front lines with his Blade Mail, doing what he can. The Templar Assassin goes down to the Gyro, but not before bringing down the Bristle. Mugiwara Luffy drops to PD Rocks, and then the Omni Slash slices straight through Sanji as the Aegis gets put to use here, bringing down the cores on the side of TryHards. Now Fire Fist Ace is going to be next on the hit list, and he's got no way to get out of this, as the Ogre will smack him on the back, and then they'll even pop a casual smoke here to move towards the middle lane. There's a buyback from the Templar Assassin, and she's already back in towards the middle lane here, which means that they could look to get an objective of their own. There's a buyback available on the Mirana and on the Bristleback, but Gyro's down for 44 seconds. Fortification is available on the side of the Dire, which means that they can slow things down here. And with the Quap alive, but without the Sonic Wave, I fear for these buildings. Desolator doing work as well. Arrow will connect on a creep. There's the fortification thrown down. Refractions available as well. Templar, does she choose to jump in here? No, they're just going for objectives here. 18 seconds till Gyro's back, and this will be the first lane of Raxes taken down by the Fallen. After securing Roshan and a successful team fight, They'll put themselves back in the driver's seat, but ever so slightly. With that, PD rocks. He's probably going to be looking to finish up that Abyssal Blade now, the Vanguard. Yep, he's just about 500 gold away from it now. But no buyback available on him, so he's going to need to be careful. The reason they won that last fight was because he had an Aegis on himself. Silencer. Okay then, casual double sentry is gonna get dropped down. My evil rat and his comrade. They'll find another sentry D-ward there, but with Roshan down and out, does either side have the nads to make a play here? Looks like they will. The dire side, TryHards, they've not tapped out just yet. They've lost the lane of Raxes or one melee Rax at the middle lane. But they'll pop a smoke and look to make something happen. But this is a dead giveaway that they're not in their base and that they're looking for a kill outside. The ranged Raxes, they're going to be brought down by creeps here. Well, almost brought down. Remember, ranged Raxes do not regenerate and they've got very little armor compared to the melee Raxes, I believe. Or 5 less armor to be precise. Which means that those Raxes should fall soon. The Fallen. I think the safe thing for them to do here is to farm a buyback for their Juggernaut. And then look for another pick-off. Templar Assassin, what is she building up next? No significant progress over and above that Hurricane Pike for now. She did have to buy back in that last fight, so her economic growth has sustained a bit of a blow. Sanji. He's got 1600 gold in the bank for himself. No, that's actually the Templar Assassin. So Sanji's got himself 2100 gold. He's picked up the full BKB as well. 9-second duration on it. While he's getting tanky and survivable now, he's not really dishing out as much damage as his teammates need him to do. He is really the primary source of physical DPS for his teammates. The Bristle, there's only so much that he's going to be able to do. He does have his own BKB and it's a brand spanking new one. With a good 10-second duration on it. We've got 2400 gold in the bank here for the Juggernaut, which means that he should have the buyback ready to go. But both teams, this is... I really don't want to be too critical, but I feel like they're missing their windows of opportunity. Every time now they've got a Rax in the middle lane. The best thing to do would be to just group up, start applying pressure on a different lane, get map control, farm up your enemy jungle, and wait for Roshan to respawn. But the Fallen, they're still just hanging behind on their half of the map here. And the same thing can be said about the TryHards as well. They need to start pushing out this middle lane as a unit. Putting the Bristle back on the front lines. Hoping that he gets initiated upon. And that's when they try and turn things around. They've got BKBs. They've got a Crimson Guard and a Blade Mail. They've even got the gem now. To deal with the Templar Assassin meld. Almost 3k now for PD Rocks, and I'm pretty certain he's going to spend that money instead of holding on to the buyback. Because that's what real men do. He's waiting. He's thinking. Just having a conversation with the shopkeeper, hoping that he gives him a discount of sorts on that Eagle song. But no discounts will be received today. Why does he keep doing that? This is actually the second time he's walked up to the secret shop, stared right at the shopkeeper's face, and then walked away without buying anything. Middle lane. Oh, Hurricane Pike gets used. Queen of Pain. Okay, the blink will disjoint it. So TIL, that blink disjoints the auto attacks from the Hurricane Pike. That's a very cheeky play though by DJ Devil. I don't think he'd have had enough damage to bring down the co-op anyway. But yeah, could have done some damage at least. Moonlight Shadow going to be used in lieu of smoke here by TryHards. They didn't get scouted out while using this. They've actually got a Smoke of Deceit off cooldown. They've pushed out the middle lane to the river and they're looking for a pick-off, but the Fallen are giving them no room whatsoever to work with. They're not in their own jungle. They're just grouping up as 5 towards the top side. And they've got a smoke of their own. They're grouping up in base. Yep, that's exactly what they look like they're going to do. They've had enough of this. They want to make something happen. And they probably don't even know this, but Moonlight Shadow is not available for 80 seconds. No smokes used. They'll go back to farming in the jungle for now. They'll drop a sentry ward to check for observers on the cliff, but that sentry is just barely out of range of the regular ward spot. And then they'll put a second one for good measure. What are they doing? Just group up, pop a smoke, look for a pick-off, and that's the game right there. Roshan, he's gonna respawn in just a few more seconds, I believe. Or was that the Aegis reclaim timer? Because he lost the Aegis almost as soon as he got it. They pop the smoke now. And they'll look for a pick-off before coming back for the objective. They'll know when Roshan's back because they've got a trap in the pit. As they're on the hunt, they're gonna walk straight past it Mirana. 30 seconds till Roshan respawns. A pick-off here could be absolutely crucial. The Fallen, they're gonna find this wraparound here. He's actually in their base. They'll go for the ranged axes straight off the bat, and now they could initiate. Crush gonna connect on absolutely nobody here. Missed one again. This fight completely chaotic from the Fallen. They'll get punished. There's the Templar Assassin going down. A late global silence even comes out. Juggernaut does get the kill on the Shadow Demon, but it's all he's gonna get for now. A 1-for-1 trade. The core on the side of TryHards about to be going down. Sanji, he's gonna drop. He just barely survives and makes it out of there. Juggernaut not giving chase. He'll go down instead, making it a double for Zoro. Zed blinks in, gets the crush, finishes the job on the co-op, while Usopp will finish the job on the backlines, bringing down the silencer. It's a 3-for-2, a fight that TryHards will take all day, every day, given the situation they're in. And lo and behold, Roshan is up for grabs. I don't think they can really bring down Roshan though on the side of TryHards. With the Mirana arrow, they'll have a 5-second disable for it, but that's all they're really going to have. Usopp's not dealing enough damage, neither is Sanji. But really, the Fallen have made a complete mess out of that. They got way too greedy after that smoke. Some questionable decision making by going straight for the ranged axes there. And then jumping in to miss a crush when everyone was grouped up on the side of the Dio. Slaughter, he's made some big plays this game, but he's also made a few bad ones. And that's costing his teammates. TryHards, they're going to move into the pit, the arrow. They'll connect on Roshan so they know that he's alive. But how do they really bring him down here is the question. They're going to drop a casual homing missile as well to trigger his spell block. But they know what's up. The Fallen knows this. They've got a trap in the pit, so they know exactly what TryHards are trying to do here. And this could be their opportunity, their moment to turn things around. If they get a good team fight here, either side will find themselves. Oh, this could be the crush opportunity, but again, Zed not pressing the button in time. As the Moonlight Shadow will get popped now. There's no detection to watch this out either. This fight about to break out. The arrow will connect on Evil Rat. Will be about Luffy. He'll drop down. Disruption as well. The dust gets used. Templar takes out the Shadow Demon in one swift hit. Now Zed's in trouble. He's gonna go down from behind. Pops his BKB. Again missing the crush while force stuffing out. He'll get taken apart by the Queen of Pain. 1-for-1 so far. Slaughter lost in lieu of the Shadow Demon. But this fight is far from over. Juggernaut in trouble. He's been hexed up and he's being brought down, but he gets the Omni Slash off. Clears up the illusions. Roronozo gets bashed and then sliced to bits. Pops down for the count. Abyssal Blade used onto Sanji. The meld hits not available, but he's gonna get a few more hits. The Psy Blade's trying to do work here, but he won't get the Psy Blades to connect just yet. Sanji pops his BKB, makes a run for it. He's trying to get away from this Slaughter. Slaughter does get the bash off. Can he continue to get a few more? He needs to get that amp off. Doesn't he know that you can amp a target inside magic immunity? Doesn't matter. He'll blink and crush him anyway and bring him down. The last lone survivor, Usopp, will try and TP out, and it looks like he's gonna be successful, but at what cost really? Because the middle lane is pushing in by a massive creep army. Roshan's gonna get taken down by the 2 armor reduction heroes. And that'll be Aegis picked up. A cheese as well. Now Juggernaut will buy back, knowing that he's a candidate to hold on to that Aegis. He'll make his way into the pit. Although I do believe DJ Devil should be holding on to the Aegis, the cheese, alongside that Juggernaut getting the Aegis. Rosh is down, Aegis picked up, cheese picked up as well, and once again, Radiant side look fairly comfortable to try and breach high ground for round 2. But that is a buyback on the Juggernaut, which means that if he does die through that Aegis, that's it. We could see TryHards pushing straight through to the base. High ground has been breached, fortification has been expended, Gyro will respawn in just a 10-second duration. There's a Scythe of Vice on Roronoa Zoro, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, the Meld Hit is not enough to bring down Fire Fist Ace. Now DJ Devil, he's got the cheese, remember, and the Hurricane Pike to work with as well. He's trying to make it out of here. And that's going to be the bash onto Usopp. The Abyssal Blade will lock him in position a little longer. They've kept him alive with the defensive disruption for now, but the Blade Fury might change that. In fact, Silencer will be the one to get that kill. Buyback from the Bristleback. They're trying to fight some more. Sanji gets hit with the Hurricane Pike, but uses the Manta style to disjoint it again. DJ Devil needs to pop that cheese sometime soon. Uses it now. Doesn't have a refraction for 6 seconds time. The Omni Slash bounces around. Doesn't get a kill. Never fear. Will go down. Global Silence drop down. It's a double kill for Evil Rat Silencer. As he's trying to TP out, will not be successful. And that'll be the end of that engagement, with just a tier 3 tower going down, a buyback baited out from the Bristleback, while the cores on the side of the Fallen will survive. Once again though, the creeps did push in towards this middle lane. These tier 4s are now down to about half HP. Juggernaut still has the Aegis of the Immortal to work with, but he's finished up an Aghanim Scepter. Ooh, I'm not sure if the Aghanims is really the right choice this game for him, given the amount of ways for the TryHards to actually deal with the Omni Slash. There's the Disruption, you've got the Ghost Scepter, I believe, picked up on the Shadow Demon, you've got a Manta style on Sanji's Gyro, and plenty more. He really needed an MKB this game, because Sanji's now picked up the Butterfly. And with the evasion in the face of the Templar Assassin as well as the Juggernaut, I do believe that they have the tools needed to defend their high ground. There's the Axe finished up for the Silencer, but it's an item that I can't really get behind this game, given the numerous ways that TryHards can shrug it off. They've actually got 3 BKBs now, I believe. Yeah, 3 BKBs and a Mana Style. But you can definitely see the tension building here. Both sides on the ropes, really. Dire just a little bit behind, but that net worth lead, it's not convincing enough for the Radiant to start pushing into high ground YOLO here. Are they going to commit? That Aegis still begging to be put to work here. The range axes at the very least could be brought down through chip damage. The way they're grouping up makes me believe that they're going to pop a smoke instead, despite being right under their opponent's noses. Zed, there's a lot riding on this man and his crushes, but he's been struggling to deliver over the last few team fights. Here we go. PD Rocks on the front lines. He'll start pounding away on the melee racks. He's actually been clipped by the arrow on the cover of that Hex. Crush from Zed. Catches only the Queen of Pain. BKBs and Manta Cells have all been deployed. It's a complete slugfest here in the Dire base. PD Rocks is on the front lines. He's going to lose the Aegis now, but no, not before he gets the Omni Slash off. The Crimson Guard is doing work. PD Rocks still on the front lines. Gets the Diffusal Blade off. The range axes finally fall, but so does the Silencer. And Juggernaut will respawn for round 2 without an Omni Slash, without a Blade Fury. He's been left for dead here, as he'll get clipped by the Hex, the Soul Catcher, the arrow, and he will finally be brought down. Gyrocopter even coming back into the base to finish that job. But at the same time, Templar, she's about to go down herself. She's used the Melt to stay alive for now, but it's not going to help in the face of these Quill Spray spams. One more will do the trick. Usopp finds himself the kill on the TA. That's a dead Juggernaut for 90 seconds without a buyback. All they got for it was a range Rax. And now the right move for TryHards would be to group up and barrel down middle lane to claim a lane of Raxes themselves. 24 for 24. This game is turning out to be quite a close one, with the gold and EXP graphs just fluctuating up and down. TryHards, indeed, have taken my advice to heart as they'll start moving mid. 47 seconds, that's still enough time to get some damage done on these Raxes. There is a buyback available in the Templar Assassin, and no global silence for 30 seconds. So the big tools needed to defend high ground are not available at this point for the Fallen. BKB's Mantis Styles prepped and ready to go. BKB into a 3-man crush, but this time there's no follow-up. This is TryHards fighting back. They'll get the Raxes. Will they be able to escape cleanly is the question now. Evil Rat drops down a 4-man curse here. Raxes have been taken apart. This is when Slaughter should be looking to jump in, but Sanji will TP out. Zed just barely missing on the crush there. And the odds have now been evened. Man, this is really turning out into quite the slugfest here. Both teams fighting to stay in this tournament. Plenty riding on the outcome of this game, as it is a best of one. And TryHards, they've really managed to pull this back with style so far. You know, I want to be nice and say that TryHards are playing amazing Dota here, but it's just textbook Dota that they're playing. Holding their high ground, farming what they can, initiating with the Hex and the Arrow, and just capitalizing on the mistakes that the Fallen makes. In the last team fight at the bottom lane, you had the Juggernaut just going all in, Omni slashing Crimson Guarded heroes, not using the Diffusal Blade during the Omni slash on the Shadow Demon, who soaked up a good 3 hits himself, rendering him completely useless. Also, very questionable item choices coming out from the Fallen as well. I see no MKBs on the horizon here for any of these heroes on the side of the Radiant. Templar Assassin possibly a candidate for it, and really should be looking to pick it up as her next item. Else they're going to have no more tools left to deal with this Gyro, who's just getting huge at this point. He's actually managed to catch up in terms of net worth to the Juggernaut. And the Templar's net worth has actually been left in the dust by both the Queen of Pain as well as the Bristleback. Mid, there's the crush. Sanji could be going down here. Mugiwara Luffy. Oh, again the global silence comes out, but there's the Moonlight Shadow keeping them alive. It's a headlong retreat being attempted here by the Fallen now. DJ Devil is going to get hit with a Demonic Purge. Refraction is available. He'll use the Meld instead, and he'll get taken apart. A dead Templar Assassin for 86 seconds. The chase is on. They'll get the arrow. No, the arrow flies under his arm, but the Shadow Strike is enough to slow him down. The homing missile is tracking him as well, and never fear, will be dead. Leaving the gem on the floor. Roronor Zoro, do you want the gem, my friend? It's a fairly crucial item to have on yourself. Nope. He's got no slots. Maybe he could have dropped the TP and picked it up, but he'll ignore it for now. But the Ogre's down, as is the Templar Assassin. The Shadow Demon was the only casualty on the side of the Dire. He'll buy back immediately and try to join his teammates. You gotta remember, folks, there's buybacks available. There's the TA buying back already. And most of the heroes on the side of the Dire are pretty low on HP. So yeah, that's gonna be TryHards just backing away. As we approach the 1 hour mark in this game, folks, I believe this is the first hour-long game that we've had in the ESL India Premiership. I will have to apologize for any hiccups that you're experiencing on stream. I believe there's some issues with the Twitch ingest, and I am noticing a couple of drop frames, but hopefully you guys are a-okay. But as things stand, the Meliraxes continue to survive at this bottom lane for TryHards, as Roshan is back online. I can't stress how crucial getting these Aegis is come this point of the game. It's late in the game, the cores are getting fat, and having that extra life is just really going to be the deciding factor. This time they've done the right thing. They've dropped a scan and a possible inlet towards the Rosh pit as they take down Roshan in a jiffy. But the scan was used a little too early. The Fallen, they're getting in position. Will Roshan go down? Yes, he will. Aegis gets picked up, as does the Cheese. But they still want to commit here. Sanji, he's manning up, Trying to possibly bait out the BKB. Oh, the arrow will connect, and it's on the perfect target yet again. Big crush coming out from Zed to slow things down, but the demonic purge will hold him in place. PD Rock stunned up by the homing missile once again. Sanji hit by the global silence, doesn't use his BKB, doesn't use his Manta just yet. The Omni Slash ripping through them will take down the Shadow Demon, and next they're going to try and get the Quap. She blinks away, just barely staying alive. It's 1-0 so far. Sanji's on the front lines, but he's taken a beating from Evil Rat as well. Now Sanji getting clipped by the Juggernaut. He'll use the Blade Fury to dodge the call down. Aegis has been taken apart. Usopp's in trouble now. He's going to go down next. He doesn't have the cheese anymore, but they'll change focus back onto the gyro. He pops his BKB, doesn't have the Manta to work with, and the physical damage is ripping him to shreds. He tries to lifesteal with the Satanic, but it's not nearly enough, making it a 3-0 trade. No buybacks on the side of the Radiant, and once again the Fallen are in the driver's seat and barreling down the lane. They should force out buybacks from the Quap as well as the Gyrocopter. So Quap, Gyro both buying back. Is that enough to deter this push? Clearly not, as the Fallen they'll deploy their healing ward and they'll start moving bottom. They need this melee Raxes if they want to call this a success. There's no BKBs available. They'll jump in on the Quap, but will they be able to stun lock her? Juggernaut, he's run straight forward. There's the BKB deployed by Zoro. He's gonna stay alive for now, and again Juggernaut's completely out of position as he's hexed up and brought down. He has managed to create space though for his teammates to bring down the Raxes. 92 seconds is the duration that he'll be dead for. Evil Rat, oh, he's gonna TP out this time. No, there's a Yule's picked up on the Mirana that'll send him flying up into the air. He tries to force staff down to the low ground, but he's not gonna be successful. He'll just start to man fight his way through this, but won't find anything at the end of it, as he'll die fighting like a real man. So both the Juggernaut and the Silencer end up forfeiting their lives. It costs 2 buybacks on the side of the Dire, but they do end up losing their melee Raxes anyway, and now they're playing from 2 Raxes behind. Meanwhile, DJ Devil looks like he did the right thing. He did opt to go for the MKB, but it's come at the cost of his buyback now. Or TryHards. They're gonna group up and start barreling down mid. They've got the Octarine core finished up on the Bristleback. I believe he had it in the last fight as well. Well, Quap's got an Aghanim Scepter, so the Sonic Wave is fairly spammable at this point. Gyrocopter, he's going for the Daedalus as he's picked up the Broadsword first. He doesn't have a buyback, so it does make sense to buy out every piece of item that he can. Now, TryHards are a little too slow to react. They had a good 90-second window when the Juggernaut was dead, but they couldn't push out their lanes fast enough. And now both the Juggernaut and the Silencer are going to respawn. Zoro's low on HP and will be forced to blink away. Zed is thinking of initiating here. Everyone is alive on the side of TF. Well, Zed's thinking of jumping forward. He gets... Oh, again the crush connecting on no one. Didn't realize that his blink was disabled, but there's the global silence. The Abyssal Blade onto Sanji as well. Remember, he bought back, and if he goes down here, this could be the game right there. Sanji about to drop, and indeed will go down. The MKB doing work for DJ Devil. He's trying to man fight his way through Usopp now, who's about to lose his own life. The arrow will fly, it will connect, but it's only going to delay the inevitable, which is eventually going to end up in a possible team wipe here for TF. Down goes the Shadow Demon. 100 seconds without the gyro, 100 without the Bristleback, and they're just gonna call it without even waiting for the push to come in. The GG well played gets called out. The question is, do their allies cancel the GG? Yeah, it looks like they're cancelling it. They'll call the GG now, but the admin has confirmed it. This game is done, and in what seems like an anticlimactic finish, the Fallen will take down their opponents. So kudos to TryHards. They did try fairly hard, I have to give to them. It was a valiant attempt indeed, but one that was met with defeat at the end of it. But for those of you tuning in on the stream, once again, a big thank you, and I apologize for any hiccups that you might have faced in terms of lag and etc. For now, the Fallen will move on to the next round of the ESL India Premiership, brought to you by Nodwin Gaming. If you've enjoyed the cast, of course, do hit the follow button on the Twitch channel, and you can follow me at TheRealCloudX on Twitter and Facebook.com/TheRealCloudX as well. While you're on Facebook, don't forget to give the ESL India Premiership page a like as well. I'll see you guys around in a bit. I believe Hearthstone is coming up next, so stick around for that. I'll see you guys next time.